Next, we're talking about proteins. So if we remove water from the cell, more than 50% of the cell dry weight will be proteins. So this is why they say that we have protein life on Earth, because our cells, more than 50% of the dry weight made up of the proteins. And we have different type of the proteins. They have different function. So one of the most important one called enzymes. So this type of the proteins which speed up biochemical reactions. So in order to different chemical reactions occur, we need enzymes in our cells, and enzyme is specialized type of the proteins. The other, we will have transport proteins, and they call transport. They can move some chemicals from the cell and into the cell. So this is transport protein. And we have just structural proteins, which could be just part of the different cellular organelles, for example. And building blocks of the proteins are amino acids. So right now we have 22 amino acids, and combination of these 22 amino acids give us endless number of the proteins in the cells. We have different type of the cells, but they all made up of the amino acids. So it's like several amino acids attached to each other, and it's will be different proteins. So amino acids, if we look on the amino acids, they made up of the amino group and carboxyl group. And in here shows, so this is amino group, carboxyl group in here, and radical again could be, this is more C connections and the other attachments with hydrogen, so like that. Okay, so this is example. Overall, this is one example what is the amino acids made of. So level of the protein organization. So first of all, proteins made up of the amino acids, and each in here bit kind of different color in here show it's amino acids. They attach together. Then this is first level or primary protein structure. It's just a sequence or chain of amino acids. Then protein have secondary protein structure, and it's occur when sequence of the amino acid are linked by the hydrogen bonds together. So these amino acids chains can also bend it and attach to each other in different shapes, what's shown in here. Then protein have tertiary protein structure, 3D shape kind of, and it's occur when certain attraction are present between alpha helixes and pleated sheets. So this is show just next kind of in here, attachments between these different parts of this. And then we have quaternary protein structure. So it's when several proteins protein consists more than one amino acids chain. So this is one amino acids chain, this is second amino acids chain. So this is more complex. This is change in the shape of the amino acids and different attractions, and then we have several different amino acids attached to each other. So now you need to be able to answer on the question, what is the building block of the proteins? And you need to know what is the enzyme, and you need to know function of the enzymes. Next class of the biological macromolecules is nucleic acids. We have two types of the nucleic acids, the oxyribonucleic acids and ribonucleic acids. So Na in here represent nucleic acid. R show nucleic acid, and D represent the oxy and ribo, the same like in here. So nucleic acids made up of the nucleotides. So nucleotides are building blocks or structural units of the nucleic acid. So now we will look on the structure of the one nucleotide. So nucleotide made up of the phosphate group, and in here we have phosphorus. Yeah, so this is phosphate group. It's made up of the sugar molecule, and sugar molecule is pentose. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in here, and different we have in here RNA. In here we'll have hydroxyl group, and DNA will be without oxygen in here, so only hydrogen. And this is why the oxy in the word in here, the oxy means without oxygen. So this is what it's showing here about. And nucleotide also made up of the base, and base is structure which include nitrogen and nitrogen base. This is called nitrogen base. Nitrogen base could be made up of the adenine, it stands by the A, thymine stands by the T, uracil U, guanine G, and cytosine C. So if we look on the most important our nucleic acids, DNA in here and RNA. So in here on the right, you can see this is model. This is the model of the DNA, or its molecule which have shape like double helix. In here we cannot see this is very well, but on the next slide you will be able to see it better. So overall, DNA made up of the this is 1, 2 strains of the nucleotides. So this is one strain. Let me change to the red. One strain in here. And if we move to the light green, for example, this is second strain. 2 strains of the nucleotides. And in here we will see that in each nucleotide contain nitrogen containing base, what we already talked, pentose, sugar, and phosphate group. And nitrogen contain base, we already showing here different type of them. Adenine, guanine, cytosine, thymine, and uracil. And RNA, on the other hand, will be single strand of the nucleotide. So this will be difference between them. The other things what you can see in here, so this is again, this is the DNA molecule. And by the color, you can see that green or adenine always attached in here hydrogen bond to the thymine. If you look, 2 nucleotides, it's always the same color. This green adenine always to this color, thymine, adenine, thymine. So this is called complementary attachment of the nucleotide. It means they always A with T, and in here purple, guanine or G always attached to the C, cytosine. So again, if we look on the other, it's always the same, C to G. So this is again called complementary attachment of the nucleotides. So on here we can see much better than DNA molecule is a double helix, and it looks like this is twisted ladder in here. And these stairs in this twisted ladder, this is hydrogen bonds between nucleotide. A nucleotide in here and T in here. C with G, and this is hydrogen bonds attaching between them. And here show DNA molecule, and here DNA molecule inside of the one bacterium, and here bacteria cells. So overall function of the DNA molecule to store genetic information in all cells. Genes consist of the sequence of the nucleotide, and they determine all hereditary traits. So we will talk about this when we talk about genetics. So again, this is show difference. RNA single strand, DNA twisted double helix, double straight. And you can see that they again will have this is complementary attachments in the DNA between nucleotides. And in the RNA, we will see that in here we also have nucleotide with only one difference. DNA will have adenine, guanine, cytosine, and thymine. But RNA will have adenine, guanine, cytosine, and no thymine. It will be replaced by the uracil. So this is kind of the difference between also DNA and RNA molecule in the structure. So now we will talk about RNAs, and we have several different types of the RNA. One of the important, we can say in here, three important types of the RNA. One will be messenger RNA or mRNA, ribosomal RNA or rRNA, transfer RNA or tRNA. And all these three types of the RNA play very important and specific role in the protein synthesis. So each cell, like in here show one cell, this is cellular membrane, nucleus which hold DNA double helix in here molecule. And we have messenger RNA in here, for example. We have transport RNA in here. This is again messenger RNA in here. And we will have ribosomal RNA. This is the ribosome, and it will have RNA. And they all, again, very important for the protein synthesis. This is the different chain of the amino acids will right now synthesize, which right now synthesize inside of the cell. So by now you need to be able to answer what is the building block of the nucleic acid.